So hi guys, this is part 2 of my attempt at doing a Stevie Ray Vaughan acoustic blues jam. I've got some good comments and got a bit of money from my charity, so if anyone else wants to give through give.net, just look at the text below this video, and any money will be greatly received for this great mental health charity, which I've benefited from. And yeah, they're really good. So so the first bit of this is we're playing sort of like an open A7 chord, part of an A7 chord, just all upstrokes. So the incidentally, I should just mention that my guitar is tuned down a tone. So this is a D, a G, a C, an F, an A, and a D. So I'm going to be referring to them as the E, A, D, G, B, B strings, as you would normally do it, but just bear in mind we're tuned down. So this chord, this open chord, is on the B string, 5th fret, and on the G string, it's the 6th fret. So it's kind of like playing a bit of a, if you can imagine an A7 chord like that, take off all the fingers apart from these two, and the open A and the open E at the bottom. So we're playing upstrokes. I think it's about 12 times, but between them you're going to do a little slide up as well. The next bit is you're playing a bit of a nice little blues bend up here. The E string on the 7th fret and the B string on the 8th fret. It's a bit like this sort of thing. It's just a bit of a bend in the key of E. Before I go into that, I hit an open E, so it's... That just gives me enough time to go out for this bend. Well, you could hit the two open strings, the B and the E. It's just giving me enough time to get up to this bend. You bend 3 times. And again, when you come out of that bend, we're hitting the open E. And that is just an open E, the G string on the 2nd fret, open, and then the root note on the D string, the 2nd fret, and end with this little trill on the 3rd note of the chord. Nice to spend a bit of time getting that, so it sounds nice and bluesy. Don't do it too many times, just enough to stress the fact that you're a brilliant player. And so after that, we got another little bit that's very similar. It's open E, it's B string on the 3rd fret, the B string open, the G string on the 2nd fret, and then that 3rd note of the root of the chord again on the G string, 1st fret. You can pull off whatever you want to do. So let's go back to the whole thing again. Okay, so what I want to do now is I just want to do an alternative beginning to this second part up to where we've just done, and it starts a bit differently. So it starts, the first bit's the same. Instead of repeating that, you then play this, which is more like an E minor, sort of part of an E minor really, and the B, so it's open E, B string on the 5th fret and G string on the 4th fret. Same number of times, 12 times. Then back to just 6 times this time, and back to this bend again, twice. So okay, then there's another lovely little bit which is kind of like a bit of a blues run, so it's kind of like what you would play down here in a blues E shape. Eric Clapton does that quite a lot. But you're playing it up here on the top 2 strings. So what it is the E string you're playing on the 10th fret, the B string on the 12th fret, 3 times. You're then playing the E string on the 9th fret and the B string on the 10th fret, just twice, downstrokes. Then you're dropping down, the same shape again, but it's the E string on the 7th fret and the B string on the 8th fret. So it's kind of like 3, 2, 2. And then you're up to the same place as we were before. So that's just an alternative start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to playing where we were on the first iteration of this. Then you play the top string, top E string open, and you play this little blues run. So it's kind of like open E, open bottom E, and then you're playing the bottom E on the 3rd fret and the 4th fret. Okay? Kind of like a hammer on, feels better for me. And then you're playing this little I don't know what you call it, riff I suppose. Open E, so it's the A string open twice, A string 3rd fret and 4th fret, D string 2nd fret, and then you're going up to the top E on the 3rd fret and open, and then the A string on the 4th fret and the D string on the 2nd fret. Sorry about that. You can bend this top note as well. So this next bit I've taught in my first part, my first tuition, and I'm going to play that in a second to show you how to do this bit. But you actually repeat this 3 times, and you end on, which is the G string on the 2nd fret, the G string on the 1st fret, and then the root note E, the E root note, the 2nd fret of the D string. So I'll play that again. You do that once more, then so that last bit is, as you've got to there, it's the G string on the 1st fret, the E string on the 3rd fret, a little bit of a pause, and then you play the A string open, 1st fret, and the 2nd fret. So I'm hammering on the first fret of the A string. So this bit here, it's kind of like a slide and a rake. I'm now going to play the bit from the first lesson that you need to know if you haven't looked at the first lesson. So how you do it is, on the G string, you slide up from the 2nd to the 4th fret. You then rake down across the 1st, 2nd and 3rd string with your finger on the B string on the 3rd fret, either playing it, deadening it, or leaving it open. So have a go at that. This is crucial, really. So now we're up to the B7. I'm now going to play this section that I explained in my first lesson, but it goes something like this. All this is a B7 chord in the farmer's corner. Top E on the 2nd fret, B string open, G string 2nd fret, D string 1st fret, and A string 2nd fret. You just keep your fingers down here. You don't move these at all, and it's just a bit of a rhythm thing going up here. So it's something like this. So I'm playing the A string, the G string, the E string, the A string again. Then the top E, then the G string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With a little bit of a rest in between. After that, that first G string. Top it off, you want to play the D string with a hammer on, using the same chord down here. D string hammering on and playing the fretted E string. You can see my hands haven't moved down off this B7 shape. Okay, so I'm going to just to help you, I'm going to play everything up to and including what I've already taught you in this second part. But I'm going to play the second variant of it this time, just to make it a bit more interesting, which goes something like this. So now we're up to the last part, and so I do it two different ways. This is the first way. So the first part of this is just playing an A chord on the 5th fret, but you're just playing the top 3 strings. And you're just sliding up. Do that twice. So you're playing that, so the notes you're playing are on the G string, you're playing the 6th fret. On the B string, you're playing the 5th fret. And on the E string, you're playing the 5th fret again. You then play part of a blues scale in E. And you're on the top E, you play the 7th, the 6th, and the 5th fret. And then with a bit of a bend here. So the notes are, as I've said, on the top string, the 7th, 6th, and 5th fret. You then play the B string on the 8th fret. The E string on the 5th fret. And the B string again on the 8th fret. Okay, and then to end it off, I'll do it all up to the end. So that's a lovely little melodic little piece there that I just love. You're playing the G string open, hammering onto the 1st fret, and then playing the root note of the E chord. So that's the D string on the 2nd fret, and then hammering on again on the G string up to the 1st fret, and then play a top E. Then play the B string and the B string open. B string on the 3rd fret and the B string open. And that last bit is very similar. You're playing the G string on the 2nd fret. You're pulling off. So the G string on the 2nd fret, pull off, and play the root note of the E chord. So that's the D string 2nd fret. And then it's kind of like a bit of a hammer on again on the G string onto the 1st fret, and again onto the D string on the 2nd fret. So I'll do the whole thing again. You see that last bit is a bit of a hammer on. Now we're up to the last bit really. It's the D string, open 1st and 2nd fret. The next bit is the open E, so the E string open. Open, E string open, 3rd fret, A string open, 1st fret, 2nd fret. So let me help you by doing it all again. And that helps with having a hammer on there as well, on the A string. That last last bit is you just repeat that note, the A string on the 2nd fret, then you go up to the D string, open, 1st and 2nd fret again, with a little bit of hammer on. Okay? You see that? So going back to this A again, where we're going, I sometimes do it slightly differently. Rather than go, I go, which is like 2 rakes. So we're sliding up, you're raking down, and then up. Actually, you're raking down, but you're picking up really. And I like to do that sometimes just to give it a bit of a slightly different flowing sensation. Also the bit down here where we go, I do that slightly different sometimes when I play it, slightly different like this. So that is same as before. The only difference comes here where I play the B string. I do a pull off from the 2nd fret, and I play the D string open. So that's G string 2nd fret pull off, D string open. Sorry, B fret 2nd string pull off, G string open. Then on the G string I do a hammer on and pull off. So that is a G string hammer on and pull off, and then play the D string on the 2nd fret. And that's the only difference really, the rest of it's the same. Right, so the main reason that you're getting this second part of this tuition is that there's a guy called David Bowersocks, who's given money to my charity. So you got him to thank. He's a great bloke. He's giving freely and entered into the spirit of, well, what the internet and what YouTube is all about. Free lessons, but let's try and open our hearts a bit and give a bit of money to charity. So if you look down underneath this video, you'll see a link to give.net, where you can give to my charity, Still the Hunger, a mental health charity in Reading, England, and look it up on the internet if you have any problems with mental health, because they will help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tempt you to give a bit more money for part 3, just by playing what it'll be like. And this is for me, this is the best bit of all, but we're going to need some money for my charity, please.